Danger's My Heart is back, and I could not be more excited. Episode 1 of second season was absolutely fantastic, just kicking right off where we left off with the first season, going into technically episode 13, and I just loved it to death. No thanks to High Dive. Come on, High Dive. I've been championing you guys so much, and you're letting me down. It was like, I think the last time I checked was like 7 hours in, and they still hadn't posted it. Obviously, I went somewhere else in order to enjoy it, because they're not going to make it available, and I'm glad I did, because it's kind of one of those shows that I am going to go out of my way in order to find it, because I want to watch it, and I love it to death. But yeah, first episode was absolutely fantastic. There's quite a bit in here that I want to chew into, which is, like I've said in the first season, so exciting and so interesting for a rom-com, basically. But yeah, jumping into it, like I said before, starting around where we left off, they're coming back from winter break. Obviously, a lot of catch-up happening. And yes, a lot of people taking note of the fact that Ichikawa has a broken arm. There was a brief moment where I'm like, wait, what happened with his arm? Oh yeah, that's right. He broke it trying to get a picture for Yamada. And sure enough, that comes up in this episode. That freaking broke my heart. The moment that he brought that up, I was like, oh gosh, dude, you're going to crush her. And sure enough, she's like devastated. But no, I'm getting ahead of myself. But no, having this little brief moment where everybody's fighting it. And then they see that he has the little dog on his shirt, and immediately creepy, and then walking away. But no, obviously, because Ichikawa is broken, they decide to assign somebody to him, and sure enough, as he's trying to downplay his relationship with Yamada, of course, she's going to be walking by right then, and then stop at the door and listen to the conversation, and come to find out that Ichikawa doesn't see her as any... Now, to give Ichikawa credit, Yamada did the same thing this episode. It's like Ichikawa downplays their relationship, and then later on, Yamada does the same exact thing. So she has nothing to complain about. But that's what I've always loved about Yamada's character, and it's what I've kind of loved about the series overall, is there's no like over dramatic melodrama that's happening in the series. So when there's a misunderstanding like that, it's very quickly cleaned up, and I love the response that the characters have. Yamada obviously does care for Ichikawa a lot. Yes, hearing him say that they just talk, they're not close or anything like that, is obviously going to hurt her heart. She's going to go, ouch, that kind of hurts. But it's really quickly remedied. When she leaves, he's like, crap, I ruined everything. And then sure enough, when it comes to him taking notes, Yabai just goes to somebody else. And it wasn't really a thing that Yabai didn't want to help him herself. Now, yes, it could be that her handwriting's actually bad and she's trying to get somebody that can help him properly. But yeah, the idea there was probably the idea that Yamada wanted somebody else to help Ichikawa in her place. She still wanted to help him. She still loves him in the end. So she's going to go out of her way in order to make sure that even if, yes, she's hurt and she doesn't like what he says, she's still going to help him. And yeah, the cute little scene. I'm sorry. Sorry about what? What I said. What did you say? I love how she drags stuff out of him. It's just so freaking great. By the way, I did watch the 12.5, which was fantastic as well. And they had some fun moments like that as well, with the good mornings and the buys and her just kind of pulling it out of him. Come on, you want to say it? In the moment that he says it, she just rubs it in his face by following around and doing it. It's just too cute. But yeah, this turns into him saying, yeah, of anybody, I want you to help me the most. And I think that kind of is shown in Yamada's response, that this is something that she really likes. She likes the idea that he needs me. It's like anybody. The idea that somebody says, I need your help, I need you to help me with something, it's a positive reinforcement. It shows that you're wanted with that person. And so, yeah, of course, she's super excited about it. She's super excited about helping him with everything, even flipping the pages and everything. It's kind of been the thing that's fascinated me the most about the series, too, is that Yamada has never been an inner dialogued character. Like, she's always been based on expression. And I think that's always added to her character, and the mystique around her character in having those expectations of something that she's going to do in response to Ichikawa doing something that might hurt her, and her not really doing that. And again, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that she just loves him and just doesn't go to those usual social norms of, okay, well, he did this, so thus I need to stay away from him, and I'm hurt, and he needs to come, crawling to me to fix the situation. But this is where we get into something kind of interesting, and I was really kind of curious how they're going to handle this whole section. Is, yes, the other boys finding that this pop star magazine has Yamada in it. And of course, it has her model name, not her actual name, but they recognize her. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's her. And it kind of gets in this whole thing where, yes, Ichikawa at first kind of gloats about all the information that he knows about her, what she's actually doing. Like, he knows a lot about what she's working on. And it kind of freaks him out. But no, what was interesting is like following this whole scene, Yamada wants to know what they were doing. What were you boys talking about? And he doesn't want to talk about it because his assumption is that she probably doesn't like the idea of them knowing about it. You would assume that a person like her wouldn't really want to know that all the boys in the class are buying all of her pinups and enjoying them. But no, she really enjoys her job. And so it's kind of that really uncomfortable area where it's like it's something that she really enjoys doing. She loves being able to fulfill the expectations of her manager and her mom. We've seen that with the first season. And as she alludes to in this episode, she really enjoys doing it. She's mentioned this particular magazine. It was a great atmosphere. It was very different. They were a lot of fun. They were funny and all that kind of stuff. She enjoyed her time on set and taking the photos. And she even wants Ichikawa to see it. Like, here, which one do you... I like the whole thing. Can we drop by the convenience store? And they go by there. He's trying to hide up the fact that they were talking about it. And she literally drags him to it. I knew that's what she was doing. And yeah, sure enough, she's like, oh, these two, they're so cute. Who's this person? I just love that reveal. It was just like, here, Ichikawa, you know who this person is, huh? Right? How does she look? But it was super cute. It was like a whole thing where for a brief moment, it seemed like she felt that it was something that he wasn't interested in. Like, oh, this bores you. I'm sorry. Let me put it away. And then he immediately says, no, look, he's trying to be courteous to her. So he's trying to not be interested. But he has to correct himself. Like, no, okay, if you're showing it to me, yes, I like it. You look great. It was just super cute. That whole scene where she's asking which one is the best. They all look good for you. And then, yes, getting into exactly what the topic here is that how much she enjoys doing that. And it's something that he wants to support. Now, why I said earlier that this is kind of an interesting spot is because my assumption is what they were going to get into with this whole thing is that jealousy that she is on broadcast to everybody, and it makes him uncomfortable. The idea that these guys are talking about her photos makes him upset. They even had this whole segment where Adachi was talking to her, and he didn't like that idea. Don't talk to Adachi anymore. Now, yes, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he doesn't like the fact that Adachi is always perving out about her. She asked for my notes. She thinks that I'm a smart dude, and she thinks that I'm cool and handsome. He's like, you didn't say any of that. But what I thought they were going to get into, because you had that whole segment, and then you had him hiding the fact that they were talking about Yamada, and with the discussion about the bikinis and everything like that, I thought it was going to get into the idea of Ichikawa being sort of jealous that other people are seeing what he wants to keep to himself. This is a reality that a person attracted to somebody is going to want that person for themselves. I'm not sure if this is exactly what the writer's doing, but my assumption based on how these scenes played out is that it's going for the idea that he was probably hiding the fact they were talking about it. He may have been thinking about the idea that he doesn't want Yamada to be on broadcast like that. Like, I want her to myself. But it seems like it so quickly gets squashed if that's the intent. Again, I don't know. It seems like it so quickly gets squashed because he sees how much she enjoys it. And that makes him happy. She had that big smile. She enjoyed what she was doing. Conversation over kind of thing. So, I don't know. Maybe in the future it might turn into that. Maybe whenever Yamada starts to do some very spicy pinups, maybe at that point he's going to suddenly not like it anymore. I don't think that they've had her in a bikini, but she has been in, some really good photos. So I'd have to double check with the first season. I don't think that she ever did anything that was like super risque. But anyways, other than that, they had the whole reveal of what they did for Christmas, which Hara is so cute. Hara talking about how, yes, she went to New Year's with Kanzaki, and he showed up letting his hair grow out with sideburns. And she did not like it. How do you tell somebody that you don't like something that they're doing? I thought for a minute that it was going to turn into an idea of laughing at it, because you have this whole situation where Ichikawa, they push back his hair and he looks like a dork, and then Yamada starts laughing, and Hara jumped up and said, oh, so that's how it is. I thought that she was saying that as an answer to her question, and she was going to end up making fun of Kanzaki next time, but no. She literally just goes, okay, I'll eat this. I'll gorge myself like you seem to like me being plump, but you could never have sideburns again. It was a super cute scene. And yeah, seeing Yamada failing miserably at cracking eggs, which makes sense. Yamada's going to be the type that she's perfect everywhere else except for cooking. That is a trope, and they're fulfilling it. But yeah, they continued on her helping him out, and he points out at some point that he's fine with her being at his side, or actually he says specifically she's apologizing a lot, but I just like the fact that she's at my side. She might mess up a lot, but she's here for me, and he enjoys the fact that she's at his side. But yes, he can't tell her that. And yes, he's trying to make her more comfortable by showing her funny things. Shows Kana's coming of age ceremony outfit. Looks super cute. By the way, it seems like they're really getting risque with Kana. Like, it's almost like Kana's turning into like not besides Yamada, like the poster child of like the lewdness of the series, because like belly and butt shots and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what they're doing there, but maybe Kana's turning into the risque character of the series. But no. Right after that, he goes, oh, yeah, by the way, here's the picture of the snow. I face palmed so hard, like they probably heard it 3 streets over or 3 blocks over. That hurt. The moment he showed that, she's like, wait, what's in the picture? Oh, that's right, I fell. Ouch. That was the very moment that Yamada's heart broke so loud I heard it. And oh yeah, that was a terrified face. You got hurt because of me. Yeah, it was technically something she wanted, take a picture. That's why he was out there, and he tried to take the picture. That's when he fell down, and I actually went back and watched that scene again. It hurt. The moment he goes to put his hand down and hear that crunch, I was like, oh gosh, I feel the pain. But yeah, that was a big oof. Again, I like that it doesn't drag it out too much. Like, this could be like an entire 4-episode arc right here. But it does kind of correct it pretty quickly. She is bothered by it. It does hurt her. But it's not as if it's suddenly this, 4-episode thing where the character split up and then he has to tell him that everything's okay. No, she doesn't want to be with him anymore because she causes him harm. Again, I love this writer. This writer is just very quick at kind of moving on. Yes, she's still hurt. Yes, it's affecting her. Yes, she can't stop thinking about it. And yes, it technically did transition into something else kind of devastating her. It was like it was a 1-2 punch. Yamada experiences a 1-2 punch. Not only did I find out that I caused him pain, but additionally, I lost this thing that I find so precious because it's basically a ring for her. It's basically a ring for her. But yes, I did love Ichikawa going out there to find it. Good boy. The moment that he realized that they're still looking for it, he's like, thanks for looking. I got it. I'll find it. Goes out there. Still got his broken arm. One-handed on an umbrella trying to push away all the snow, trying to find it. And then, yes, Sikine, Moe. Moe is so freaking good. Every time I see her, I love her. I loved her so much. There wasn't really much of her. Yes, she was comedy relief on the side for the entire first season, just kind of sitting on the sideline, cracking jokes about the boys. And then eventually, that whole scene towards the later part where somebody was trying to push Ichikawa, I think it was Nanjo, was trying to push Ichikawa to get the contact information for Yamada, and she's on the side there, but eventually she hears how much Ichikawa likes Yamada and is protecting her, drags him out. And yeah, so every single time I see her, I immediately hear the shtidoot, shtidoot, shtidoot. I freaking love that scene so much. But no, yes, she sees Ichikawa, points him towards the direction that she goes home, and then immediately texts Yamada. She's like ultimate wing girl right there. I love her so much. But yes, Yamada finally showing up and just, oh, that hurt. I was going to say in the opening of this video, but I love this series coming back, but I wasn't wanting Yamada crying. The last thing I wanted was to watch an episode where Yamada cries because, oof, that girl hurt. That hurt me so bad watching that. Super sad that she lost it. It was kind of interesting what he said. It is kind of one of those weird kind of ways of phrasing it, but it technically makes sense in the idea that, even if you lose it, it's not like it disappears. It's always going to exist. But no, he ends up seeing it, and then it was almost like Yamada was going to go kiss him, and he had his head down, so she nope, never mind, stop. Not yet. It was so cute. And then, yes, invites him to go back to her place. That's, yeah, I'm going to assume that nobody's there because she was a little bit embarrassed about saying that. So we'll see where the next episode goes. That was a bit of a spicy end to this episode. I'm sure it'll be very wholesome. I mean, when Yamada went to Ichikawa's place, it stayed wholesome, right? It was a very wholesome episode. I can imagine what'll happen at Yamada's place. But yeah, that's very interesting to see what happens in the next episode. I mean, one jokes aside, yeah, technically getting a little insight into Yamada's home, her family, and everything like that. My assumption is that her mom's very tied in. So, I mean, she's living in a skyscraper, so it's probably like a very fancy apartment. So we'll see what happens in Yamada home. I did see I think it was the ED. they showed a picture of her father, which I don't think we've ever seen before. We've seen her mom, but we've never seen her father. So I'm assuming her father's gone. Kind of implies that. Yeah, and the Edie had a lot of their lifespans, like just them growing up and their childhood and everything. Even showed Kana with him raising when he was being raised. So really cute stuff. I really enjoy it. So also, my gosh, can we talk about the OP? The OP was freaking gorgeous, dude. They went all out with that OP. That OP was like, I don't know, it was on the levels of things like Kyoto Animation. I mean, I was already excited by the fact that this season, the second season, was going to have the same team working on it. Like, my gosh, the musician. I absolutely love this musical artist. He is absolutely fantastic. He did an incredible job with the first season, and I won't say that we've had, like, yes, technically the whole later part with Yamada crying was pretty pinnacle, but haven't quite had that impactful point with the music quite yet. I mean, it's great, and I'm loving the music. It's just not like where it just suddenly gut punches me like it has in the first season, and maybe we'll probably get that. It does sound like they're at least changing a lot of the music, so we're going to just rehash all that music from the first season, and it still has the great style and tones that he has, but again, putting that aside, the OP, absolutely love it. It looked absolutely incredible. Like I said, it was pretty much Kyoto Animation levels. Just the running around the halls, the panning shots and everything. It just looked absolutely gorgeous. I am floored by how beautiful that OP looks. So, good stuff. Yeah, fantastic episode overall. Cannot wait to see what happens next episode, but that's my thoughts. I almost forgot. Yes, they technically mentioned the idea that they know that Yamada is not doing well. There's something wrong with her because she only ate one fry. She always eats at least 2 fries, and she only ate 1 fry. There's obviously something wrong with her. But no, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit that like button down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Additionally, if you do the channel, make sure that subscribe button to get my content and news reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate everybody it does, and y'all take care.